So it is August the 16th, 2018. And I'm eating kale bites. Let's see, 10:42 in the morning. This is my first solid food breakfast. I've already had my kale juice this morning. This is radish juice, or radish green juice. James has also had kale juice this morning already, and so that's radish green juice in his. I'm having nectarine for dessert, and James is having an apricot because he didn't eat his yet last night. And we're having hot spice ketchup, which I made last fall, with our kale bites. And these ones are not only flavored with miso and nutritional yeast to make them taste cheesy, but this focaccia bread spices mix. And we'll see how that is. Anyway, I should drink that first, but that's really sealed. There we go, nice little pop. A little bit differently. Well, do it that way, so anyway. Wow, that's yum. So, James is also having pizza with his, because he wanted to. I heard this. Nothing to do with me. Oh, and these kale bites also have radish greens in them. Radish green pulp, because I've been juicing radish greens lately. Which don't taste good. But, I mean, it gets... If you make bites, which are delicious, with the pulp, it encourages you to actually juice things like kale and radish greens, which you know are healthy, and you probably don't eat very much of because they taste disgusting. I baked these in the oven this time. Again, so this is the same basic bite recipe as my cheesy bites one, cheesy kale bites. So we still have the amaranth and quinoa and teff on the outside of the bite. But I also mixed in a little bit of this into my outside bite mix, so that just in case my freezer bags, the labels get worn off or whatever, I still know just by looking at this, because I can see rosemary on the outside a little bit.
So this was the topping or something?
Yeah, of the, what do you call it? The paleo almondillo bites that I made. So I figured it may as well be a salad topping
Yeah.
whenever I make a salad.
Something like that.
Or something. I don't know. A something topping.
Okay. This is
Is it-
kale.
Yeah, these are cheesy kale bites made with not only kale greens but radish greens and this stuff.
No, focaccia bread and spice.
Spice, yeah. So
It's funny how they don't
delicious.
even mention it's spice. They just say focaccia bread.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Anyway,
But you
this
can taste what it is. Radish green.
radish probably pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Quite unpleasant.
Got a bit of radish taste to it. It tastes like dirt and radish. Yeah. Okay. This is for general use, isn't it? You don't mind if I mix some of this in with that? Or
It's
is
the
it
same stuff, really.
Is it
I just knew there wasn't enough in that
Yeah,
for
okay.
both of us to eat for this meal. Or even for you, I think.
Oh, it's not even close. I use a lot of these, this on kale bowls. Kale bowls are, depends on what's on the outside and whatever, but they taste
Well, you prefer them
Like
deep
kale.
fried.
exactly.
But they're healthier baked.
exactly.
And they're not bad.
They're not bad, but they still taste a bit like
I
kale.
dripped some stuff on me. And of course, they are better if you bread them rather than use this. But this is so healthy, and it's pretty good. So for me, I don't see a point in breading them and deep frying them. This is good. For James, though, he probably would prefer breaded and deep fried.
I'm trying to get as much of this as I can.
Yeah. Anyway, James watched this over the last few days, I suppose. It's called The Heavy Water War. With a nuclear weapon, Hitler would have won the war.
I don't think he would have. If he only had one, he could have just destroyed part of one big city. So,
It's a Norwegian
but it would have
effort.
scared a lot of people and killed a whole huge one. If he had two, again, there's not much he could have done. So, see, because the United States, he would have had a hard time touching, right?
Yeah. Anyway, it
So-
was 267 minutes on 3 DVDs, and it's not all in Norwegian. There's subtitles. What they did is they, well, it was really well done actually, from my perspective. Even though I am really not into watching anything about World War II or, frankly, history. Honestly, it's not my bag. But James is really into that sort of thing. So when I find things like this, I bring it home to him. But what they did is it was in English when appropriate, German when appropriate, Norwegian, depending on
Who was speaking what?
Exactly. It makes sense, right?
Makes absolute sense.
Absolute sense.
They actually had subtitles that were legible from a distance away. You didn't have to have your nose right up against the TV screen.
Yep, so that too. They were thinking. Because we have a TV that's tiny.
Smaller and smaller. Here comes someone racing down the alley.
It's a very old TV, and we could go pick up one probably from an alley today that was bigger. I don't know. What would we do with this little one then?
Yeah, I don't know. Just leave it for Bunba. Put him in the spare bedroom. Let him watch TV. He'll learn a lot.
He might. He's a baby. Could pick up lots of things.
He's pretty sharp, though. He realized that
watching.
he didn't have to fear you, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I don't know. He should have been a little more fearful of those cats, though. Whatever made him leave the nest.
Well, he's looking for food.
Silly
He probably
little bun
sensed
bun.
that there was a garden around here.
Yeah, I know. Well,
So-
that's why Mum would have planted him somewhere around here, because she would have been like, oh, lots of lovely greens to eat.
Could be. She could be dead now. That's another thing, right? Think about it.
Yeah.
A lot of mean cats around here. So.
But Bun Bun's eating well. He likes corn on the cob.
Seems pretty happy in there, I'm telling you. He's not chewing on the bars or anything like that.
He's
He's
mostly
never
eating.
eaten so good. Probably making up
Pretty
for a
much
few
eats
days.
constantly.
No,
So, seems to prefer lettuce to everything else.
of course, but we haven't tried carrots on him. We might have to call him Buns Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he's a cute little sucker. Tell
Oh,
him.
adorable. The cutest.
I'm just lucky he screamed, eh?
It is lucky.
'Cause you wouldn't have known. You
no,
would have
I
got
wouldn't.
torn.
Well,
From limb to limb. He
when
would-
that kind of made me think, oh, what's going on here?
Of course.
But then, when I saw all the cats gathered around, I
yeah,
knew
but you
something
wouldn't
was
have
up.
seen him, would you? Or were you working at that point in time? Out in the garden? Yeah, you would. Anyway, he could have got all torn up and not survived. Like that
But
poor
basically,
bird we
he
tried
came to
rescue
me.
from. Oh,
I
he did?
didn't. Well, they camouflage pretty well. Little
Okay.
Bun Buns.
So he actually saw you and came running towards you?
Well, not running, like hopping slowly.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wouldn't have noticed him had he not moved in front of me like
Well,
that,
that's
honestly.
amazing. Well, he did just
I
all
knew
the right
there was
things.
somebody there, and
Mhm.
because I knew the cats were
Yeah.
being cats.
Yeah.
But honestly, I was looking for a bird. I didn't expect a little bunny.
No, no. Anyway, he played it just right.
Yeah, he got my attention, and I was able to help him out. So you don't mind this hot spicy ketchup?
No, not when it's kind of covering up the multitude of sins. Well, with this scale, it's not really a multitude, but it just kind of covers up the taste. A lot of the taste goes
When you
in the-
juice it. Yeah.
but still it's in there.
So I bought a juicer. Not a juicer. A food processor recently from MCC thrift store, and it's an older one. And it has a smaller bowl than I would prefer, but I got it for only $4, and it comes with the slicer, and there was a fly there. That's what I brought.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what that is. It looks like a nectarine.
It is a nectarine.
Awesome.
You're having the apricot because you didn't have.
I know,
There's
I know.
another nectarine for you for later.
I
once you
know. I
finish
just
your-
I just was wondering what it was. I thought it was an apple. I wasn't going to take it up there.
Oh, it'd be fine if you did. Do you really want it?
No, you can.
Anyway, the food processor, I only paid $4 for it. So you could make these bites if you go to a thrift store. Now, I don't know if the one I go to is especially inexpensive, maybe, but I can't see you having to spend very much money if you just check for a food processor and a juicer. And they may be from the 1970s, but you know, they probably still work. So that's been my experience. The juicers, sometimes they don't work so well. Food processors I've never had a problem with. It can be the oldest food processor in the world and it still seems to work. So you could set yourself up to make kale juice and kale bites for very little. And you'll never have to buy those spinach bites in the packages from your local grocery store, produce section. You know the ones I'm talking about. I didn't make the bites while watching this because I didn't really watch this. James watched this. But I made it while watching that other show. The New Girl or whatever. Which was okay. But anyway, you can watch plenty of movies and TV and everything and still be productive if you're making kale bites while you're sitting in front of the TV. So they're awesome to make. Awesome to eat. We go through a huge amount of kale. And it's not pleasant. The kale juice, I gotta say. But it's over with quickly. And then you have the bites, which are way better once the kale juice has been extracted from the kale. Then it tastes pretty much the same as spinach almost, you know. So really not that offensive.
It's a good way of dealing with it. We got everything.
That way you consume loads of kale, which you know is one of the healthiest things you can eat. It's not that tough. So which is your favorite of the ketchups that I made?
I like this one pretty good with this. It depends. I suppose what I'm putting in.
Wow, I might make all this kind of ketchup this year then.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Well, unless you want a mix of different kinds.
No, a mix.
You want a mix, okay.
For kale, you want something that kind of, it's a bit spicier, I think. But the other, it's usually I like it milder.
Okay. Because, yeah, this one I prefer.
Figured you would.
The other stuff is just sweet and not... I need a bit of a kick. Napkin. Oh, I have towels over there. I could have actually used them instead of my pants. Now I have to wash my pants. But, you know, I'd spilled, like, little bits of ketchup had dripped and stuff like that. So my pants were already kind of messy. So that's it.